Namaste, good morning everyone. So today we are here for our live Shunnu talks and we will discuss the Agama Sutra. So we have Saranya ma'am with us for the reading of the text. I welcome you, Saranya ma'am. A very good morning to you. And before beginning with the Agamas, first we'll practice the 9 to 0 meditation practice and then we'll move further.
Before starting practice, please sit comfortably, keep your back straight, and keep your hands relaxed in any mudra. Remember, one breath in and one breath out is one count. While reverse counting, gently focus on your natural breath. Do not force your breath. At the sound of the bell, begin your practice. Start.
Okay, so now I would like to invite Saranya ma'am for the reading of the Agamas.
Āgamas as it is. Ekotara Āgamas, translated from Chinese to English by Shiv Sutra Translation Department under the guidance of Dhanacharya Nagajiva, that is Dhatu Glimsyoji. Ekotara Āgamas, Volume 25, translated into Chinese by Gautama Sangadev, Tripatika Acharya of Kapisha, Eastern Jin Dynasty. Chapter 35, Mithya Parishada, the Rome Assembly. Translated from Chinese to English, 35.8. Thus have I heard. At one time, the Buddha was staying in Sravasti at Jayadevana in another Pandita's ashrama. At that time, a certain bhikshu was descended with practicing the brahmacharya and wished to disassociate the Shila and return to the lay life. Then that bhikshu went to the Bhagavan, prostrated at his feet, and sat to one side. That bhikshu said to the Bhagavan, I no longer take pleasure in practicing the brahmacharya and wish to disassociate the Shila and return to being a upasaka. The Bhagavan asked, why do you not take pleasure in practicing the brahmacharya and wish to disassociate the Shila and return to being a upasaka? The bhikshu replied, my chitta is inflamed and an agni burns within me. When I see a woman, I surpass beauty. I think, would that this woman and I could unite. Yet I also think this is not the Samyak Dharma. If I follow this thought, it is not according to the truth. Then again I reflect, this is an evil gain, not a good gain. This is an akushala dharma, not a kushala dharma. Now I wish to disassociate the Shila and return to being a upasaka. For the Shila of a Shramana must not transgress among lay people. I can practice dana and generosity instead. The Bhagavan said, women have 5 kinds of faults. What are the 5? First, they are impure. Second, they engage in double-tongued speech. Third, they are jealous. Fourth, they are prone to dvesha. And fifth, they are quickly and untrustworthy. Then the Bhagavan spoke this Gada. Not out of wealth or artha comes joy outwardly, kind, yet harboring poison within. They obstruct humans from the path of goodness, like a hole disassociating a filthy pond. Therefore, O Bhikshu, you should remove impure thoughts and cultivate Shuddha contemplation. After a bhikshu contemplates purity, he completely cuts off kama trishna and craving for rupa and formless reliance. He cuts off ignorance and arrogance. O bhikshu, from where does this desire arises? Does it arise from the hair? Yet hair is foul and impure, an illusion that deceives the people of the world. Hands, nails, teeth, and the members of the kaya have no pure place, which is real, which is true. From head to foot, it is all like this. The liver, the gallbladder, and the five internal organs of these corporeal things, not one is worth craving. Which is real? O Bhikshu, from where does this desire arise? You should diligently practice the brahmacharya, the samyak dharma. To the Tadagata will surely end dukkha. Human life is extremely short and does not last long in the world. Even if one lives for a great age, it does not exceed 100 years. And that is not much. O Bhikshu, you should know that the appearance of Tadagata in the world is extremely difficult to encounter. And hearing the Dharma is also difficult. Receiving a rupa of four great elements is difficult to obtain. Having all senses faculties complete is difficult to obtain. Being born in the central land is difficult to encounter. Meeting a Sahaya who is a good friend is difficult to obtain. Hearing the Dharma is difficult, and descending the Artha and principles is difficult. The accomplishment of every Dharma is also difficult. O Bhikshu, if you associate with a Sahaya who is a good friend, you will be able to discern all Dharmas and should widely explain the Artha to others. If you have heard the Dharma, you can discern it. Having discerned the Dharma, you can speak its Artha without thoughts of desire, dvesha, or delusion. By being free from the three poisons, one is liberated from the Jati, Jara, Vyadi, and Marana. I have now briefly explained the Artha. And that time, that bhikshu, having received the Buddha's teaching, rose from his feet, prostrated at the feet of the Bhagavan, and said, and withdrew. At that time, that bhikshu dwelt a secluded place and contemplated the Dharma. This is why a Kulaputra shaves his hair and beard, leaves the home life to learn the path, and desires to practice the supreme brahmacharya. He knew as it is, Jati and Marana are ended, the brahmacharya is established, what was to be done is accomplished, and there is no further rebirth. Then that bhikshu became an arahant. When the bhikshus heard the Buddha's word, they followed it with joy. Year 35.9. That's how I heard. At one time, the Buddha was staying at Rajagriha in the Kalandaka Venuvana, together with a bhikshu sangha of 500. At that time, Ananda and Dagisha went out at the appropriate time, donned their robes, and took their alms bowl to enter the city for alms. During this time, Dagisha saw a woman in certain alley who was exceptionally beautiful and unparalleled in the world. Having seen her, his chitta became disturbed and unsettled, unlike his usual state. Burned by the agni of desire, my chitta is utterly inflamed. May you speak of the artha of its extinction, brightening great benefit. At that time, Ananda replied with this gada. Knowing desire is a diluted dharma, the chitta is intensively inflamed. One should dispel sapna and thoughts, and the craving will naturally cease. At that time, the Geisha responded with this Gatha. The Chitta is the root of Rupa. The eyes are the source of perception. In sleep, one sees support and contact, yet the Kaya withered like with wilted grass. At that time, the Aisma Ananda stepped forward and placed his right hand on the Geisha's head. Then he recited this Gatha. Contemplate the Buddha, free from desire, overcoming the difficulties of craving, seeing the Swargas and the Narakas, restrain the Chitta and transcend the five des- destinies. At that time, having heard the words of the Aisma Ananda, the Geisha said, Stop, stop, Ananda. After completing their arms round, they returned to where the Bhagavan was. At that time, when the woman saw the Geisha from a distance, she smiled. Seeing her smile, the Geisha immediately heard the sapna. Your kaya is but skin stretched over bones, just like a painted vessel that holds impurity within. You deceive the minutiae of the world, causing them to give rise to deluded thoughts. Then the Aisma Dakisha examined the woman from head to toe, reflecting what is there in this kaya to desire. All its 36 components are impure. From where are these things born? The Geisha pondered, instead of observing others' form, it is better to observe my own kaya. From where does this desire arises? Does it arise from the element of earth, water, fire, or wind? If from earth, it's solid and unbreakable. If from water, it is fluid and cannot be held. If from Agni, it cannot be grasped. If from Vayu, it is formless and cannot be held. Then he realized this desire arises merely from thoughts. At that time, he spoke this Gada. Desire, I know your origin. It arises merely from thought. If I do not think of you, then you do not exist. At that time, the Aisma Dakisha recited this verse, and through contemplating the sapna of impurity, his citta attained liberation from ashrava right here, right there. Then Ananda and Dagisha left Rajagriha and went to the Bhagavan. They bowed at his feet and sat to one side. Dagisha said to the Bhagavan, I have now attained great Kushala benefit, for I have realized something. The Bhagavan said, What is your realization? Dagisha addressed the Buddha. Rupa is without substance, nor is it firm. It cannot be truly grasped, for it is a deceptive illusion and not real. Vedana is without substance, nor is it firm. It is like a bubble upon the water, a deceptive illusion and not real. Sapna is without substance, nor is it firm. It is deceptive illusion and not real, just like a mirage. Samskara are also without substance, nor are they firm. They are like the trunk of banana tree having no solid core. Vijnana is without substance, nor is it firm. It is deceptive illusion and not real. He added, these panchaskandha of clinging are unstable and unreal. At that time, the Ayasma Dagisha recited this Gada. Rupa is like a mass of form. Vedana like a floating bubble. Sapna like a mirage. Samskara like a banana tree. Consciousness is an illusory dharma, as taught by the Supreme One. Reciting on this, one discern all samskara as empty and tranquil without reality. All come from this kaya, as taught by the Sugata. One should extinguish the three defilements, seeing rupa is impure, the kaya is thus unreal and illusory. This is the dharma that causes harm. The five aggregates are not firm. Having understood their unreality, I now share Agama once more. Can you please go back? One more sentence is left there. Previous slide, please. Thus it is Bhagavan. My realization is precisely this. The Bhagavan said, "Well done, Dagisha, you have skillfully observed the root of these Panchaskandha. A practitioner must observe that the five aggregates are not firm. When I attain Anuttara Sambodhi, understand the Bodhi tree, I also observe them just as you have today." While this dharma was spoken, 60 bhikshus attained liberation through the kshaya of ashrama. When the Ayasma Dagisha heard the Buddha's word, he followed it with joy. Yes.
Okay, so both the sutras are very different and very important for us. Uh, the first sutra describes that how a person is seeing other these qualities inside a woman, the problems which he see as from his eyes, the problems which he face from the woman. After that, after the realization, when he got to know the same senses, the same problems are within him also. When he got to know about this, then he compared it, then he stopped comparing everyone with the same perspective, every woman with the same perspective. Now he got to know the point that everyone is same, everyone having a same kaya body. All the change is there is perception, the mind and the senses, the five bases which I have discussed earlier, like our tongue, ears, nose, every function which they perform is accordingly. Everything is same. So that is very important. We should not judge according to the gender or the view of the body that this person should be like this. We should understand them, their perspective. And the second sutra is also very important. When he got attracted to a girl, after that, when he got to know that she's also the same as he is, so he stopped getting attracted to her. The same thing. But when he start getting attracted or disattracted in a negative way, then he got the teaching. No, we should not be in a negative way. We should understand that the we both have the same kaya, whether she's a girl and I'm a male. So we should understand the perception. We should not take it and negatively. We should just understand them as it is. Yes, Saranya.
Yeah, yes. Actually, in the both in the two chapters, clearly mentioned that desire is comes from the mind, not from any rupa like that. We already mentioned that Panchaskandhas, and it's clearly mentioned in that chapter that it's just like a bubbles, mirage, because that all things are impermanent, right? So we should always remember that impermanence of our body, everything, our feelings, rupa, sapnya. So everything is impermanent. So that is clearly mentioned in that area. So because we all are human beings, so definitely we have some we have some drawbacks. So when these bodhisattvas or these disciples also have they have also faced the same problem because they are doing a life of a monk. So during that journey, they have faced some challenges. So here the Dagisha is also faced because when he saw a woman, he have some feelings inside his mind because he only knows in his mind he have this desire or that feeling. So what is going? So when we contemplate that feeling or we are nurture that feeling, it will automatically come outside. Then we are go for a adharma. So, but we already know the teaching of Buddha. Then we are realize that what is dharma and what is not adharma. So, while understanding that, then that thought already come. Actually, that correction thought already inside come to the Gisha that it is not permanent. So, because the woman is not the problem. Because in the first chapter it is mentioned that women is impure, and five faults is mentioned in chapter, because some people said that Buddha is against women, but actually not like that, because Buddha have lots of female disciples. So it's not like that, because in the next chapter it's already mentioned that it's not because of that women this happens. That happens the thought process or desire of the inside that thought process inside us. So we have to correct that thoughts through the awareness of the teaching, the impermanence. So I think the two chapters clearly clearly structured what is going inside, and how to we have to deal with the unnecessary things around us, so that will steal the peace of mind or our focus of mind. So we should avoid these things like the awareness.
Hmm.
I think so. This is mentioned.
Yeah. So very beautifully explained, Saranya ma'am. And we are at the end of our session. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining with us. Now we'll see you in the next week. So till then, stay joined with the next section, and we'll see you all. And thank you so much, everyone. And please like and subscribe the channel. Thank you, media team. Thank you, translation department. See you soon. Namaste.
Thank you.